my door also.
Torrance, I got the perfect solution to the school situation.
Yeah.
Take King Street High School, divide it in half.
That's what I see.
Put one half in Hemingway, one half in Greerville, because they got the lowest test score.
Redraw it.
They got, and that's right, and do that, and so we'll have, yeah. Shit.
How y'all? Good. Hey there, Carol, how you doing?
All right, I put this.
Okay, let me just get
They got road, she spoke out of town. And then got down.
I know Andy ain't coming, I don't know about Butch.
Make her back up.
I don't know about what Andy called.
Yeah, Andy, I know he ain't coming. And I'm gonna probably cut out a little early, but I've seen Sammy Gaddis, who's an old friend of mine, I've seen this already,
Okay.
and I'm fine with it.
Okay, I'll be bringing it for finance though.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted him to present it.
Tammy, I believe somebody been getting my money.
Your money.
Yeah. Mr. Miller, you been getting any of my money?
No, I ain't.
I'll tell him.
I just said,
Good evening, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and get the council meeting started. Go ahead and call it to order. And the invocation, Mr. Miller, do you mind doing the invocation for us today?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this gathering. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to guide us, our heart and mind, as we go about doing the county business. We ask these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Man, thank you. We need, the next order of business is approval of the minutes from the public hearing and regular council meeting that was scheduled for Tuesday, February 18th, 2020.
I so moved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor for approval of the minutes on Tuesday, February 18, 2020, please signify by saying aye. Opposers, the same. The ayes have it, so approved. Next order of business is ordinance, is third reading and adoption of ordinance 2020-04, an ordinance providing for the policies and procedures for abandonment and closure of county-maintained public roads, easements, or right-of-ways to provide for the consent of 100% of the adjacent property owners abutting the road, and further providing that the property owners must sign an application for road closures, acknowledging their participation in their release, and indemnification, good grief, here we go with that long word again, of the county from any duty to maintain the closed portion of the road. We have our attorney who can speak to this.
Madam Supervisor, I have some marked up copies I want to pass out first, and I'll explain what we have here. What I have done is met with Councilman Sam Floyd. He had a number of excellent suggestions to incorporate. The purpose here was to put in an ordinance what we have in fact been doing for a number of years. I wanted to put a procedure in place, and I found out that a number of counties have a similar ordinance and use theirs as a model to go by. And what we did was we marked up the original copy several ways. Number one, we're going to charge each applicant $750 to process the application. Now, that is what citizens have been paying on an average to close the roads in the past. $250 goes just to advertising alone. The balance of it pays for the fees and costs in connection with it. So that would be connected as a part of this process. In the beginning of the process, we would get an application, which is not attached to it, it's attached to the original one, which describes the road, the tax map number, attaches the GIS map. That helps us several ways. Number one, if it's a county road and an E911 road, it will have a name on it. Then, once we get that information, that will then be turned over to the roads department. and the county council member in whose district is involved will investigate. In other words, those two will investigate, and the criteria they will look at are addressed over in section 2, is just a number of things. In other words, go look at it. Have we been maintaining it? Has it been rocked? Has it got a road sign? How many houses live on it? And just investigate to make sure before we start spending a lot of time and money on advertising and work that this road does qualify. The second thing we will do is then have the adjacent property owners. Now, that doesn't mean somebody that lives down the road, but those people who live along the road or own property along the road have got to sign saying, I want this road closed. And once they sign that and also release the county from any further maintenance of it, we will put up a temporary, these cloth signs that say road closed. That will help us identify any kind of issues that may pop up. Additionally, we will then have first reading of an ordinance and advertise for a public hearing to close that road. And at the conclusion of it, if the landowner, once it's approved and closed, wants a deed, what we call a quitclaim deed, he can have his or her attorney prepare that deed. We'll get it signed. It's going to be their expense. That would be over and above the $750. Listen, some people want it, some people don't want it. That's the process. As of we speak today, I have 4 pending road closings, and I'm going to pass those out at the end of the meeting to the members of council whose district that's located in, so we can sort of start following up on this process and procedure. And I think this will give us a good record of it in the future going forward, and it'll give us a good, smooth procedure to go forward. Now, we have taken out any language in there that anything we didn't do before. There's nothing new here that I'm aware of. Councilman Floyd, are you satisfied that we have covered those things that you had a concern about?
I am, Mr. Jenkins.
Questions? Thank you.
What is the pleasure of council for approval, third reading and adoption of ordinance 2020-04?
Approval of third reading, Madam Supervisor.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor for third reading and adoption of ordinance 2020-04, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, the same. The ayes have it. It is so ordered. Our next order of business is under the supervisor's report, and I just wanted to make mention that, as you all know, a few months ago, we established a team called the LCAT, which is the Litter Control Action Team. Actually, we have one of our members here today. Raise your hand. So she's here today, and we have been working on ways to, proactive ways in order for us to get control of the litter control issue in Williamsburg County. As you all know, that is a big problem for all of our citizens, and and often many telephone calls to our councilmen and members talking about, hey, you know, it's junk on our road, et cetera. So we're trying to take a proactive role. There are a number of things that we are doing right now that we have in place. One is we're trying to come up with a slogan for Williamsburg County, as well as coming up with a mascot and a few other things. I have already sent out letters to some of the local organizations that transport trash out of Williamsburg County in an effort to hopefully let them know that, hey, you know, we'd like you to have your load secure and making sure that stuff don't fall off your trucks. So there's a good bit of things that we're doing with this team that we have, and I'm very proud of them. So we will be giving you updates on some of the things that are taking place with the team as we go forward. The next order of business is our March Madness, which is the Donnelly Community Cleanup, also known as Donnelly Strong. This event will start taking place March 20th. It's in your packets, towards the back of your packets, and it's going to be a 2-day mission in which we are first day going into the community and cleaning out the ditches and helping with some of the issues that they're experiencing in that area, especially with the flooding. Again, that's starting on March 20th, 2020. The second day is for the general public, and that's us going through there and picking up the trash. We have a lot of bulk waste out there for which Public Works will be assisting us in getting that bulk waste up and out of that community. It's just a way that we can restore the faith of that county and county government, since they felt that they were forgotten and sort of left behind. So we're going to start in that community, and then we will go on to other communities. So that we're looking for, I have asked that council members, challenge council members, other elected officials appointed and department heads to bring out the most employees by percentage. It won't be numbers, obviously, because we have some departments that don't have a whole lot of employees in it, but ask them to come on out. All of our supply will be through Palmetto Pride. They will be bringing out our pickup sticks, our vests, our bags, etc., anything to help with the effort. So again, we're going to start in the Donnelly community, and we're going to work our way through the different communities. So I've issued a challenge, so I hope you all will participate on this great day. We're going to finish up that day with some refreshments, hot dogs and drinks and things like that, just to show our pride in our community. So we've asked anyone who want to sign up, organizations, to please call the office at 843-355-9321, extension 5000, and let us know that you would like to participate in the cleanup efforts. So the next order of, well, let me mention one more thing as well. We have made a slight adjustment as a result of us being able to save some money this budget season. We have decided that we needed to, we'll be able to open up our recycling centers on a Monday. It is not for all sites. It is just for a limited number. We have put that on the website. They will be open on Mondays in addition to the other days that were already in place, but they will be open on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., and that's the Cades area, Public Works location, the Hemingway location, the Earls location, Neesmith, Greeleyville, St. Lawrence, 527, Central, and Bloomingville locations. And again, as you all should have noticed, the time did change as a result of the daylight savings time that will be changing on March 12th, I believe the time springs forward, or either March 12th or March 16th, but we got ahead of it. So please make sure you get that information out to your constituents and let them know that we do have it open on Monday. Any questions? And I also ask for you to please look in your brochure and spread the word about the other things that are going on. Importantly is the census, so please make sure you get the word out on that as well. The next order of business is an appearance from Mr. Samuel Gadabeku and Green Bulb Lighting. So you all may step to the podium. Again, please keep your presentations down to roughly 10 to 15 minutes at most.
Oh, yeah. All right. I thought it was 2 or 3, but well, we're Green Bulb Lighting. I'm Dave Whitmire, Samuel Getabeku. We are a lighting company from Columbia, South Carolina, that are becoming the go-to company now for city and county government. We share with folks how to save money, doing a total turnkey, going from fluorescent bulb to LED technology.
Excuse me, sir, if you will, please speak into your mic.
Okay. Going from from fluorescent to LED technology. You have a proposal in front of you, and I'll let Sam go over that proposal briefly with you. But in that proposal, we'll go over all the findings. We've already done an energy audit for 5 of your high-use buildings, and the findings are in that proposal. And in that proposal, you'll find what you have and what we are proposing in the process. So Sam, take it over and you can go over that.
How are you all doing? All right. Wonderful. We actually have done a audit of 6 of your buildings. And then what that process entails is that you get utility bills for the particular buildings, hours of operations, all that good old stuff. But you do a detailed audit of what your existing apparatus is. Then we take a look at it in conjunction with your utility bills, and we pull out what your lighting portion is. And once we pull that out, we take a look at what we want to do with it. Well, are we coming back with a retrofit or replacing or those types of things? And once we do that, we put it into a detailed document that you all have in front of you right now. It has everything from each building, which tells what's existing, what's proposed, what the current lighting usage is from a kilowatt standpoint, what the current spend is per your utility bill, and what the proposal will be. And it shows exactly what it will be after a retrofit in terms of kilowatt usage as well as spend. In addition to that, it gives you an estimate of what your rebates will be, because with these projects, like we've done for multiple municipalities, if you're in the footprint of Duke or Santee Cooper or Dominion Energy, you do get you qualify for a rebate. Unfortunately, SEC does not provide rebates since they buy power from Santee Cooper. So all that information is in there as well. So we gave you a detailed document. We'll be free to answer any question today or at a later date to be able to clarify anything you might have. In addition to that, a lot of times it's difficult and it's hard to process sometimes. How do you save money when you retrofit a project? So in that particular document, in the last page, if I do believe, I think I put 2 copies in there for you, you'll be able to actually see how that's calculated from a technique from a power company standpoint, and gave you an example with fixtures in it. And that gives you an idea of how you actually save money throughout the year. The beautiful thing about doing this, because a lot of times when people are thinking about conserving, reducing power, saving money, the first thing we tend to think about is what? HVAC. But a lot of times when you make a move to HVAC, there are a lot of mitigating issues that come with that. You will save some, but until you weatherproof your building, which is an additional cost, then you truly don't maximize that saving. Lighting, on the other hand, there's nothing else that impacts lighting or affects lighting. The minute you change it, your savings, you realize those immediately. Okay? So, I'm sorry. Okay. So it's a detailed document. It breaks everything down for the 6 buildings. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer it, like I said, today or at a later date. All right?
They are also on schedule to meet with the Finance Committee, so we can discuss this in greater detail. We just wanted you all to be presented the information. I also sent out the email with pretty much this information. I believe we sent it out last week with this information in it. So again, we'll be going before Finance to work out the details.
And so you said with the recycling and the disposal, you all take care of all of that?
All the disposal, we take care of.
Yeah.
All the product has a 10-year warranty on it. All of it is commercial grade. And it's, the rebates you get is simply because the way it works is that all the major utility companies have all come in and say, we'll give businesses, companies, school districts, whoever, a rebate whenever they go green. One, because they have a mandate to reduce the amount of power they're producing at plants anyway. But in addition to that, the savings that they can get, they typically will sell somewhere else at a higher price, okay? So in order for you to qualify for the rebate, you have to have DLC certified lighting, which means it has to go through a stringent test and they determine what companies are DLC. And the reason you're able to get the rebates on these is because of that. But in terms of disposal, we take care of all of that. And once you retrofit, your disposal costs are now gone simply because the lights you're putting in don't have any harmful chemicals in them.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Madam Supervisor, if I could, please, I want to mention also on the 21st of March, we'll have a workshop, Becoming Aware of Human Trafficking, that'll take place at the Chavis One Stop Gymnasium on March 21st, at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. And it's for all youth groups, persons of age, male, female, everyone is invited. And that's gonna be March 21st at 11 a.m. at the Chavis One Stop.
Thank you. Any other announcements for council, by council, excuse me? Hearing none, we need a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Well, that was fast. All those, any discussion? I guess not. All those in favor for adjournment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, the same. The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you and have a great evening.